Well, there's Boots the Confederate Cat. And Dixie was here this morning too. Saw him on the thing. And there's Feather. And there's Onyx over there. He was breathing some of this gas. By the way, this is not hard to use. What I'm going to do, I was thinking about getting the $1,250 portable unit, and I said to myself, I ain't doing that. Not for what this it'll cost me. I'm going to get, this is a 21 plate from Liberty Industries on eBay. They sell a 16 plate, which that's the one I have in a Samurai, the little 4x4 over there. That thing. That's been in there about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Runs fine. I should actually change the electrolyte on it. I haven't done that, but still works. Most of the weight of this whole unit is that right there. I'm going to get the small one, the 11 plate, because the 11 plate is going to put out way more than you need HHO as it is, and it's going to cut the weight down almost in half. It'll be about half. The weight will probably be, well, considering that and that, maybe it won't be half, but it'll be chopping it down about 40% of the weight. Now, this thing, I ordered the power supply. It's made in China, but it's a U.S.-based vendor, so it'll get here pretty quick, probably in a couple weeks. I'm going to mount the power supply on here. It's a 50 amp. I'm going to put like a 6-foot cord or an 8-foot cord that you can wrap around like a couple of like prongs on the other side. And then I'm also going to buy a timer, like a manual timer. Then I'm going to put an extra back flash thing in there with a T-fitting so I can fill that up. I already got one of the back flash things over there. I'm also going to put a pressure relief valve for 4 pounds. And that's it. It basically, I'll have a high quality unit. And the way I can regulate how much flow is coming out of it is just through the electrolyte. Like I just turned it on right now. You can see it's starting to bubble. It's already bubbling up there. See that? This thing kicks ass, man. I mean, this is actually putting out way more than you really... I mean, it's not harmful in that, it's poisonous or something. There's actually no toxicity. It's just that it's flammable. At that concentration, what's coming out of here, that's flammable. That's highly flammable right there. All this in here, that's flammable. So I'm going to put the back flash arrestor here, one there. I got one of those already. Put another one here with a T-fitting and a pressure relief valve in case this gets kinked. It'll relieve it at 4 pounds. And you can see I was running this a while, and you see it's only pulling about, I don't know, 15 to 20 amps. That's not that bad. So I also have an amp gauge. I'm going to put the amp gauge on this too. I'll mount the amp gauge probably right here, between these two things, so you can see, when you turn it on, what the amps are and stuff. But what I'm going to probably do is probably even lessen the electrolyte even more, and that's fine. I could bring this inside. It won't be that heavy to tote in there. It's probably going to weigh. I know the thing I was thinking is the one that's by Hydrogen for Health by I think Delvis 11. If the whole thing weighs 9 pounds with the water, that's got to be a really, really, really small electrolyzer in there. Maybe it's a really good design, but then again, it's got electronics on it. There's always something that can break. Something like this, the only thing I'm going to have that's electronic is the power supply. A manual timer that goes tick, 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 tick like that. Nothing electronic. They kind of just wind. You could set it. They got kinds that go for 60 minutes, 8 hours, whatever. Whatever. I mean, I can have a couple timers. I don't know, but they're only like $4 a pop or something like that. And nothing on this. There's no light that says this is full. That's low. I mean, I could see it. I mean, it's got, if you want a timer, I got a manual timer. If I want to make it safe, I just lower the electrolyte. And if like I said, you only need 2% hydrogen to get the therapeutic effects. That's what I found out from George Weissman, because after 20 minutes, what happens is your blood supply gets saturated with hydrogen. Now the thing is, if you're doing this all day with the hydrogen, with the nasal thing, that's what I'm probably going to get, that cannula too thing also. But I'm going to keep mine a homemade unit. I'm just in this 21 plate one. I'm going to put in this El Camino. This is why I got a 21 plate, because I wasn't sure if I was going to do this and or I was going to put it in the El Camino. And I figured if I put it in the El Camino, I don't want to get the 11 plate one first. I want to see how this works out. But I'm thinking for personal use, the 11 plate is plenty. It's more than adequate. And I think it's only like $140, the whole kit with everything. So I'll have all the stuff to install in the car and do it that way. And this thing is running me dirt cheap. And I still got something portable enough. I could pull, if I don't have this set up, like I'm going to make a little stand where it sticks out a little 2 inches more. I'll take some wood and I'll stain it and bolt it to this thing. So this thing can't tip over easily. But even so, if I lower the amount of food grade lye that's in that solution, I got some food grade stuff too. I still have that same container from before. I don't know if that one's food grade, but it don't matter because it goes through 2 purifiers. So this thing's gonna work out good. I'll be able to use this like when I'm working on a computer and stuff like that, because I'm gonna lower the output on this a little more. And now when I was talking about the 2%, like 4 points. So George Wiseman says 4.7% and above is explosive. So he keeps it at 4% or lower. So it's well within the non-explosive range for inhaling. But 2% works fine. The thing is, once you get up to saturation level, after say 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes, well, in the bloodstream of hydrogen, well, say you stop it, the level is going down again. You're not at full saturation level. So it is good. He was breathing in this stuff, I think, like 8 hours a day or something like that, even at higher levels or something. That was his own personal choice. That's why he got such great results. So I'm going to try to breathe this in a lot more hours. And, I take a magazine. I was reading something over here when I was doing this. I said, what the hell can I do? Learn something. I got to read this anyway. So it's not that inconvenient to do this even 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day, as long as you're reading something. Now, if you're on a computer, like I said, when I get the power supply in and I lower the electrolyte a little more and I get that cannula thing and I got the safety valve and all that kind of crap, I can bring this inside and use it on the computer. And this will work just as good as expensive machines. It'll still have a decent amount of safety features. And the biggest safety feature will be that I'm going to lower the electrolyte further so it's not producing so much gas. Because actually the one I got in my car, the Jeep, the 4-wheel drive Suzuki, I keep calling it a Jeep, sort of like a Jeep. It's pulling about 4 amps, but it doesn't bubble that fast. But even that is plenty for inhaling. That's plenty. So with a 50 amp power supply, and I don't know if I'm going to have a switch on or just have it plug in. I'll probably have it just plug into the timer. Probably the simplest way of doing it. Because the less bells and whistles you have on it, the less problems you're going to have. I don't think there's going to be problems. I think the machine made by the Aquacure AC550 by George Wiseman's company, I bet you it's great. But he sells something else that's got less bells and whistles on it for a lot less money. But this is even way less money than what he's selling. So, but this is not for every person. I could not, first off, this is not UL listed, it's not CE listed. I couldn't resell this, and I wouldn't advise people to do this that don't know what the hell they're doing. You see? Now, for cosmetic purposes, I'll guarantee, well, you know what? Most women wouldn't be freaking doing this stuff. Oh, I hear a kid over there. But most women wouldn't be messing with something like this complicated. But it's like, some can, but generally speaking, they're more left brain than right brain. So this is like a little bit too, what do you call it? I mean, depends. Some would, but generally speaking, if a guy Guy can do this, no problem. Like if he knows how to work on cars and stuff like that, and he's pretty, he's an electrical guy or something, and does whatever. He's hands on. He ain't gonna have no problem doing this. This is pretty simple stuff. Just use some common sense. So, maybe this will run me. Okay, the power supply was like $38. Wow. Maybe there's another $50 worth of stuff, and I shouldn't have got the kit that was more powerful. I should have got the 100. You've got to pay shipping, so it's 140 plus, I don't know, 25 for shipping, so 165. You got to have a computer case. So maybe it still could be only about 250, 275 total. And you got a good unit. Just don't put that much electrolyte in there. You probably only need like a half a teaspoon or something. I don't know. In that big freaking thing there. And this, I swear to God, even running this in my car, I never touched it. The only thing that runs out sometimes is the bubbler. And that's because it shakes, the engine shakes, you're driving and stuff, so maybe it spills out or something. This actually, when you're running this, probably every 20 hours, you should change the water in those bubblers. This, you can leave that crap alone for 5 years. Freaking no problem. Probably hundreds of hours, easy. I mean, maybe you want to get more fussy and change it out the first time, so maybe the plates don't get messed up. But I've had mine sitting in my car for 4 or 5 years. And I drive the car every day, so that little 4x4. So this thing's got to last a long time, man. This kit works okay. It's from Liberty Industries on eBay. It's not for this. It's for cars. That's what they sell it for, but it can work for this. Like I just had to put an extra bubbler on it. That extra bubbler was like 20-something bucks. So maybe, I don't know. That's 60 something, and so yeah, it could be 275. Well, definitely under 300 you can put this damn thing together for, because you got to figure you got to get that thing you stick in your nose, that cannula thing that you breathe through. I'll probably get one of those too. And I'll be, if I'm on a computer for a couple hours, I'll bring this inside and I'll just have it so it doesn't put out so much freaking HHO, so it's on a safe level. Because like I said, if it's below 4.7% hydrogen, it's not going to blow up. So 4% is safe. You go to 2%, it's safe, and it's still therapeutic. It still works, because in 20-30 minutes you get the full saturation of the blood with hydrogen. But then after it stops, the hydrogen from the blood starts slowing down. So it's good to actually, if you can do this for like 8 hours a day, that's where you really seems to get the results. And if you drink the water, all the wonderful stuff, it'll work. What I'm thinking is, now I got to wait in case one of my kitty cats gets sick. I got to wait to freaking fix them up, because I think this thing would probably do more good than anything I was doing for Tiffany Golddigger, the cat. I think this thing would have done it, because even if you put the gas by the skin, it absorbs through the skin. The hydrogen goes through the skin. The electrified plasma, electrically expanded plasma gas water, that's not a vapor, it's a fourth state of water. It's H2O plasma. That'll go through the skin. It'll go right through the whole body. The hydrogen molecules, the hydrogen, just the H1 and the O1 and the H2 and the O2, they'll all go right through the skin, and it'll help heal in the right ratio, 2-to-1 hydrogen to oxygen. So, because this will work on not just people, it'll work on kitty cats, dogs, you name it, crickets, whatever you got. So you're a young girl, should be all right for a while. So I was thinking is, if I get Boots the cat near this thing, he's still got that problem with his eye. I wonder if that can freaking get reversed. I don't know how to do it though. I mean, I don't have to get Mr. Kitty Cat near me and have this thing near his eye all the time. Enough hours to do the job, Golddigger, she would sit on a bed and stay in one spot like nothing. I could put this thing right next to her chin with the diffuser, and she would she'd just lay there for hours and it'd be fine. So this is a good thing.